What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we've gotten the anticipated storm, and we've gotten about a foot of snow over the past 5 days. It's been snowing off and on between two major storm systems, winter storms. And the first night, which was last Monday, so like almost 10 days ago, we had an inch of, or half an inch of ice, which is way more than we normally get. So everything was covered in ice. By now it's evaporated off, and then on top of that we got blizzard snow, which was real powdery. You can still see it to kick it up. We usually have really wet snow that packs, or that doesn't pack down like this does, but we've had real powdery snow, so it just blows everywhere and onto stuff, sticks to things. And then just last night we had another round of snow that was our normal wet snow, which has packed onto everything. So it's really got onto all the surfaces. And that last night, we got 5 inches. And the night before we got somewhere around half a foot to a foot in places, because it's pretty hard to measure when it's powdery snow like that. But we have been frozen now for 10 days in this deep freeze. Hasn't even got close to above freezing. The coldest we've got is -13, and we've never gotten that cold before, other than like 2 times. I think it almost tied the record for coldest day ever. Our wind chill got to -30, and these chickens have been locked up like this for those past 10 days because they haven't left. They wanted to stay warm. And it is quite warm in here comparable to outside. Still got a heat lamp up, which has been fine, and a couple heaters. But they've been locked up for the past 10 days. I'm sure they're ready for this thing to be over. Things start melting. But they've still been laying eggs. They've been instantly busting once they have laid them, but still been getting almost 10 eggs a day, which is kind of crazy, but we had some conflict with the roosters fighting because they've been in such close quarters for the past 10 days. They're usually not bunched off like this. In the winter time, we usually get to in the 20s, like 7 days, and we've been in the teens and below 0 for 10 days, and it's still, we're going to get in the negatives tomorrow night again. And then we finally get above freezing on Friday, which will be the longest time we've ever been frozen for. And it's just so bright out here with the sun. I'm glad the sun has finally came out, but it won't melt anything because right now it's 10 degrees, I think. So those waters froze off a long time ago. The second day, I've just been carrying buckets into the chicken house. Big icicles. All the animals have just been bored, except Luna. She's been enjoying the snow, playing around in it. But last time we got this much snow was in 2011, and even then it didn't get this cold. I think the last time we got this cold was in like the 1930s. So crazy winter storm for everybody, all the way down to Texas and everything. But these cows have been just following me around, being bored. We had this water trough going and dumping it out, refilling it with water hose until 3 days ago, and then it got too cold for that. All the hydrants froze. The ducks are walking on top of the foot of snow, and they've been flying around for the most part rather than walking in it. But now that the sun's out, I guess their feet have warmed up more so they can walk around normally. But I poked a hole in the pond over here. The pond's been able to walk on for like 7 days by me. It's been so frozen cold that I wouldn't be surprised if the whole pond is frozen if I can stand up. It's frozen because it's a pretty shallow pond right now, but the whole thing's frozen except the sun's helping heat it up, the top layer around that hole. But this whole place was covered in 1/2 inch of ice. I had to get like a chisel to get out of that gate, but the ducks have, for the most part, been doing good. One night when it got down to -13, I was questioning them, but they've stayed warm in that house. Plenty of hay, everything, but the place is gonna be a mess when all this melts. Usually we have wet snow, so it stacks on top of each other, but we had 20-mile-an-hour wind, almost blizzard conditions, so we have snow drifts, and we never get snow drifts. But right here, it's probably like 18 inches of snow. And some random spots in the driveway have drifted up to almost 2 feet. All the roads and everything are packed down and covered. We finally had a break in the snow yesterday, and we're able to get some hay for the cows and horses, because they were out of hay for a couple of days. They were eating it all because the ground was covered with snow. Couldn't eat any grass or anything. But they haven't been liking it too much. We've been having to carry buckets of water from the house every day, multiple buckets, just so they can drink water, because all our hydrants, all our water is frozen except from the faucet inside. Even our well house froze and busted once because it never gets this cold. These goats, I'm sure, are ready for this thing to be over. They've been locked up since, well, like 9 days. This barn, since this thing happened last Monday. Wild Rooster and his hen have been doing their normal thing. They've been fine. So, shows you that the wild can handle it more than all the other animals. But they've been roosting up there in the wind and everything. They've been fine. These pigs have been hunkered down in their big house, way back in the back in this little igloo thing. So I'm sure they've stayed warm. But they got a lot of snow in their pen, over a foot. So they've stayed fine. Even the little one haven't really got that cold. Just coming out for food and water. I'm about to feed these birds, and I've been feeding them in this area. And just yesterday, this spot didn't have snow on it because it's that real powdery snow that blew away. It's easy to move, but been having to feed them in the barn where it's dry. And I'm worried that when all this melts and everything, the chickens are going to have a problem with eating eggs, because there have been so many that have busted when they get frozen. And they've been eating them. I've been trying to take them out multiple times a day so they don't bust, but some of them have already gotten into that habit. So we'll have to see. Ducks are out and about. They're messing around in the snow. Covered up all those pools. The sun has heated everything up, but it's still well below freezing, so a bunch of icicles are forming. I put some of the food out here because a lot of the chickens, when they heard the bucket, came running out here. Let them get out a little bit while it's sunny. Alright, it's night out now, and last night looked pretty cool. It was very bright because we had almost a full moon, but not tonight. Clouds are covering and might get a few more flurries. But all the chickens are up, and tons of them are sleeping on the bottom because they stay warmer together, but smart ones are up by the heaters. But this is one of our warmer nights. It's 24 right now, and it's been in the negatives, so a little warmer. We've been through the worst, and we got 9 eggs today. A lot of duck eggs on the ground too. I didn't count the duck eggs. Ducks are in here being loud, but that's all the chickens. We haven't had a winter storm like this in a long time. don't expect another one anytime soon. So, thanks so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.